So with all the hype around Dragon Quest XI, you decided to rush over to your local GameStop or what have you, and you ended up buying the wrong game. You bought Dragon Quest IX instead. I mean, why else would you buy a DS game from 2009 in current year? Well, fear not, because the game you now hold contains many, many, many hours of fun. And since you now own it, you might as well try to get to know it. But lords, where do you start? Looking at some gameplay and screenshots, everything looks so complicated and all these monsters look so strong. How could you possibly manage to beat a game like that? Do not worry, for I am here to act as your guide through this splendid game in its entirety. But there's a lot to cover, so we'd best begin quickly. You start off talking with your master, Naten Shinhan, explaining some basic dialogue about the world. You are a Celestrian, a sort of angelic being that watches over the land, specifically this quaint little town of Angel Falls. But suddenly, oh no! Monsters planning to attack some passers-by! Good thing this town is under your watchful eye, because it's time for your first taste of combat. It's very simple and basic, just mash A to win, but that's just how the early game works. You start off pretty weak and have no abilities aside from your basic attack, but as you level up, that will certainly change. Anyway, you beat them easily, and then you receive something called Benevolescence, the crystallization of mortals' gratitude. If that somehow confuses you, don't worry, because you will only need it for the next 15 or so minutes. Now that you have some forever, Not Tien and you decide to fly up to your home, the Observatory, a palace floating above the clouds. This is the place that all Celestrians call home. Before you report to the Big Cheese, feel free to take some time to observe and explore everything the Observatory has to offer. After all, it is your home. So you report to Apus Major, and he gives you the whole spiel of, you did a good, now give the benevolence to the great tree of Yggdrasil. Exit this room here, and before you go up to the very top of the observatory, go all over and open up these red chests. Red chests can only be opened once, by you, and always contain a fixed item. This chest will always contain 50 gold. There's no way to hope it's a million. Make sure you do this now, because they contain some very useful items for a youngling adventurer such as yourself. Once you offer the benevolence to Yggdrasil, you will get a bit of a cutscene. Report back to Apus Major, and he'll say that Yggdrasil is almost full of benevolence and will soon bear fruit, so you must go on your first solo trip to the mortal realm. Sure does sound exciting. Talk to this girl, and head off on your own to help some people. So now you're floating around on your own, and you need to go find some problems to solve. Normally, you could just talk to all the people until you get something to do, but since you're here, I'll just tell you right now. Go to the top left corner, to this farmhouse. This man seems to have fallen asleep while cleaning up after his horse. No worries, because cleaning up horse manure somehow nets you a heaping helping of benevolence. Hey, at least the guy says he'll change his ways going forward. That's a nice gesture. Now go to the bottom right in this patch of flowers and pick up this ring. Someone has lost this, and it sure does look valuable. Go into the church in the middle, marked on your map with this sign, and listen to this old woman. She's the one who lost her husband's ring and desperately wants to find it. Slip it into her pocket and you will receive her gratitude. Go outside and it will now be nighttime. Not Tien is there, as his job now is to watch over the whole of the mortal realm, and explains that there's one more job that you must fill. You must help out not only the living, but also the dead, and I wonder where a dead person could be. Talk to this man and... oh, what on earth is he saying? This is one neat little trick that Dragon Quest IX does to humanize its characters. It types out their accents. It's pretty cool, even if it makes it a little bit more difficult to understand what people are saying. Anyway, just talk to him for a bit and he'll pass on to the afterlife, leaving behind benevolence. Have you gotten tired of hearing that word yet? Don't worry, we are almost done with it. Your job today is now complete. Go back up to the observatory and go to Yggdrasil one last time. You get told some things, and then you offer up the benevolence to her. I hope you opened up those red chests before this though, because now, there's no going back. You get a long, beautifully animated cutscene, well, for DS graphics anyway. And oh my god, this man! You see why I called him not Tien? He looks identical to Tien. In fact, everyone in this game looks straight out of Akira Toriyama's notebook. That's because, and I kid you not, Akira Toriyama, the man responsible for Dragon Ball, is the character and monster design of the Dragon Quest series. Yeah, it's so nice to see that, because I seriously love his character and monster designs. Anyway, once Yggdrasil has received the benevolence, it starts glowing and sprouting figs, the sacred fruit of the divine. Even a golden, flying train called the Starflight Express shows up, ready to take all of Celestrian kind to the realm of the Almighty. But something doesn't seem right. Oh. But what is... No! You somehow get swept up by this storm and fall to the realm of the mortals, your wings burning up and falling off along the way. And as morning breaks, you come upon the beautiful Angel Falls you protected until just moments ago, as you fall headfirst into the lake. And the title card emerges. That's right, all that work was merely the prologue to the sheerly massive world that this game takes you through. Now since there's a lot more to cover throughout this game, we'll have to stop here. But I do hope you enjoyed so far, and I hope you will stay tuned to more installments in my Dragon Quest IX complete guide and walkthrough.